现在，请博鳌亚洲论坛秘书长张军先生主持全体大会。Now let's welcome Mr. Zhang Jun, Secretary General of the Boao Forum for Asia, to moderate the plenary.
尊敬的赵乐际委员长
Your Excellency Chairman Zhao Leji,
领导人
Your Excellencies state government leaders, heads of international organizations,
潘基文理事长
Your Excellency Chairman Ban Ki-moon, Vice Chairman Mu Hong,
和高级顾问，各位嘉宾
directors and senior advisors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends,
上午好
good morning.
欢迎大家出席博鳌亚洲
Welcome to
2026年年会
The Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2026.
的嘉宾有
We are honored to be joined today by
中国人民代表大会常务委员会
Chairman
委员长
of the Standing Committee of China's NPC, His Excellency Zhao Leji,
新加坡共和国总理黄
His Excellency Lawrence Wong, Prime Minister of the Republic of Singapore,
阿塞拜疆共和国国
Her Excellency Sahiba Gafarova, Speaker of the Milli Majlis of the Republic of Azerbaijan,
斯里兰卡民
His Excellency Jagat Wik Ramaratne, Speaker of the Parliament of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka,
哈萨克斯坦共和国第一副
His
总理
Excellency Roman Sklir, First Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Kazakhstan.
出席会议的还有
We are also honored to have with us state and government leaders
政府部门
and
部长
ministers from China and other countries, the chief executives of the Hong Kong SER and Macau SER, leaders of international organizations including the FAO, WIPO, and the AIIB,
各国驻华使节
diplomatic envoys to China,
顾问
members of the board of directors, senior advisors, partners, members, as well as representatives from the business and academic communities.
莅临表示热烈欢迎
On behalf of the BFA, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to all the leaders and distinguished guests for attending this plenary.
博鳌亚洲论坛年会
This year's annual conference has drawn broad global attention.
就是
One important reason is the profound changes unfolding across our world, characterized by intensifying challenges and deepening uncertainties. Where is the world headed? This question weighs heavily on people's minds everywhere. And it is precisely this question that BFA seeks to address and answer. The theme of this year's annual conference is shaping a shared future, new dynamics, new opportunities, new cooperation. We hope that through concerted efforts, we could chart a sound and sustainable development course for Asia and the world, foster solidarity and deepen cooperation, transform challenges into opportunities, and advance common development and shared future for all humanity.
现在我荣幸地邀
It
请
is now my great honor to invite His Excellency Ban Ki-moon to deliver his address.
Your Excellency Chairman Zhao Leji, Their Excellencies, the government leaders representing Singapore, Azerbaijan, Sri Lanka, Kazakhstan, dear colleagues of the BFA Board of Directors, members of the Boao family, fellow delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Boao Forum for Asia, I would like to extend a warm welcome and deep appreciation to you all for joining us at such a grand gathering, a much-needed brainstorming on pressing issues of the day, to think, debate, and act in order to shape a shared future of sustained peace and sustainable development for us all. We are standing at a historical crossroad. The past few years have seen challenging developments on a number of fronts, from unilateralism, threatening to hollow out global institutions and international law, protectionism, rebuilding trade barriers and tariff walls, confrontations and conflicts raging unchecked and unabated to the growing climate crisis set to overshoot the critical 1.5 degrees Celsius limit, the stalled 2030 agenda with the Sustainable Development Goals merely 35% only of SDG on track or making moderate progress, and the double-edged sword of artificial intelligence and biotech with both unprecedented potential and sobering unknown risks. An era of profound changes and transformation, unseen in scale and intensity for a century, is truly upon us in full swing and far beyond expectation. Humanity has a simple but tough choice to make. Do we want a peace or war, or solidarity, or division, collaboration or confrontation, opening up or walling up, win-win or zero-sum? It's simple because the vast majority of countries have made the right choice by reaffirming and recommitting to the multilateral approach, international cooperation, and the collective path forward. It's tough. However, because the words and pledges remain to be matched with the follow-up actions on the ground. Here in Asia, we have chosen to do the right things and do things right. In contrast to the rising unilateralism and protectionism elsewhere, Asian countries have stayed the course of opening up, regional integration, and common development by forging closer economic and trade ties from the single largest free trade agreement, RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, upgrading of the China-ASEAN FTA to the first ever ASEAN GCC China Summit. Intra-Asia trade now stands at 57.2%, with China, Japan, Korea, and ASEAN increasingly reliant on the Asian market and regional value chains. A greater level of integration has put the Asian economy on a more solid footing, ensuring that Asia remains the engine of the world economy and a major contributor to the global growth with vigor, resilience, and vitality. Here in Boao, members of the Boao family continue to uphold and speak out loud and clear for multilateralism, free trade, and globalization. We are proud to be one of the few international organizations that are still committed to rebuilding trust, reigniting solidarity, and rekindling cooperation. At a time of growing division, chaos, uncertainty, and complexity, what we need more than ever are dialogue and exchanges, such as this annual conference, not bickering, finger-pointing, or confrontation, more commonly seen elsewhere. That brings us to the theme of this annual conference: shaping a shared future, new dynamics, new opportunities, new cooperation. Our message is clear, loud and clear. So long as we stand firm in our conviction and work together in unity and solidarity, we can translate challenges into opportunities and achieve win-win through cooperation on our collective journey towards building a community with a shared future for mankind, as envisioned by President Xi Jinping of our host country, China. To that end, I take this occasion to announce a PFA initiative adopted by the Board of Directors the day before yesterday. The Boao Forum for Asia initiative on promoting Asian regional cooperation, in line with the mission and purpose of the PFA, based on lessons and experiences in national and regional economic development. We are deeply convinced of the power and effectiveness of regional cooperation through leading international organizations like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, and the Global Green Growth Institute, GGGI, in Korea, in cushioning external shocks, increasing resilience, and lifting productivity. We, therefore, call upon all economies and stakeholders to, 1, recommit to multilateralism, free trade, and the open world economy as the right way forward. 2nd, empower the real economy with the digital and smart technologies. 3rd, pursue sustainable development through a green transition. 4th, establish arrangements, frameworks, and institutions of open regionalism at various levels. 5th, strengthen connectivity and supply chain cooperation. 6th, bridge the development divide for an inclusivity that leaves no one behind. And 7th, forge broader and closer partnership in shaping a bright shared future for Asia and the world. Excellencies, distinguished political leaders, ladies and gentlemen, alone we go fast. Together we can go far. This is an initiative that calls for collective, consistent, and constructive efforts of all stakeholders, and it will be a long and arduous journey that requires vision, patience, and persistence. I invite all of you to join us in this ambitious but critical undertaking to deliver a better present and future for our generations and generations to come. Excellencies, again, let us work together to realize a better world and sustainable future for all of us, particularly of our succeeding generations. This is many of you for political leadership, and most of us, we have moral responsibility to work together. Thank you very much for your leadership. Let us work together for a better future. Thank you very much. 谢谢.
Thank you very much, Chairman Barton, for your insightful address and for presenting the initiatives on behalf of the Boao Forum for Asia concerning strengthening regional cooperation. Your long-standing dedication to multilateralism, global governance, reform, and common development has been inspiring and remarkable. And you have made invaluable contributions to the development of the Boao Forum for Asia. Once again, please accept our sincere thanks and highest respect. 现在
Now it's my honor to invite His Excellency Chairman Zhao Leji of China's NPC Standing Committee to deliver a keynote speech. Your Excellencies, state and government leaders, Your Excellencies, heads of international organizations, Your Excellencies, members of the Board of Directors of the Boao Forum for Asia, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends. It gives me great pleasure to join you, friends old and new, in Hainan for the Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2026. Let me begin by extending, on behalf of the Chinese government, warm congratulations on the opening of the annual conference. A sincere welcome to all participating guests, and heartfelt appreciation to you all for your long-standing care and support for China's development. This year marks the 25th anniversary of the Boao Forum for Asia. For 25 years, the forum, with a focus on Asia and a global perspective, has contributed to deepening dialogue and cooperation and building consensus among various parties. It has grown into a shining example in promoting exchanges and mutual learning, solidarity and coordination, and common development among countries in Asia and the wider world. The theme of this year's annual conference, Shaping a Shared Future, New Dynamics, New Opportunities, New Cooperation, is highly relevant. In today's world, geopolitical conflicts and regional wars keep emerging. Unilateralism and protectionism become rampant. Hegemonism and power politics are posing greater threats. And the outdated mindsets of civilizational estrangement and bloc-based confrontation are resurfacing. In this context, people of all countries share a more urgent aspiration for peace and development, and a stronger call for fairness and justice. History has and will continue to show that only solidarity can generate strength, and only cooperation can bring win-win results. Only by forging ahead with concerted efforts can humanity address global risks and challenges to create a better future.
Faced with the changes of the world, of our times, and of historical significance, President Xi Jinping has put forward the vision of building a community with a shared future for humanity, as well as the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, the Global Civilization Initiative, and the Global Governance Initiative, pointing out the right direction for a world in transformation. We should respond to the world's prevailing trend of peace, development, cooperation, and win-win. Firm up confidence, forge ahead with courage and perseverance, and work together for a better Asian home and the building of a community with a shared future for humanity. Here, I wish to share a few observations. We should reject conflict and confrontation and build a better future of peace and tranquility. Having been through the woes of wars and conflicts, people in Asia deeply cherish peace and stability. We should act on the vision of common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security, respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all countries, uphold non-interference in other countries' internal affairs, and promote political settlement of disagreements and differences through peaceful means. We should work for an Asian security model built on recognizing a common stake, seeking commonality despite differences, and championing dialogue and consultation to jointly uphold regional and world peace and stability. We should reject isolation and exclusion and build a better future of win-win cooperation. For decades, Asian countries, with a commitment to open regionalism, have blazed a path of mutual benefit and win-win results, leading to the Asian miracle that is admired across the world. We should advocate a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization, uphold openness and cooperation, and help each other succeed. In this process, we should leverage our comparative strength, remove barriers, advance regional integration, and jointly keep industrial and supply chains stable and smooth to provide greater certainty and positive energy for global growth. We should reject hegemonic and bullying practices and build a better future of fairness and justice. We Asian people have the proud tradition of fighting colonialism, imperialism, and hegemonism. We all value independence, self-reliance, and peaceful coexistence. It is essential that we implement the vision of global governance featuring extensive consultation and joint contribution for shared benefit, uphold true multilateralism, firmly safeguard the international system centered on the UN and the international order based on international law, advocate an equal and orderly multipolar world, and make the global governance system more just and equitable. We should avoid suspicion and distrust and build a better future of mutual respect and trust. Asia is a major birthplace of human civilization and witnessed different civilizations illuminating each other throughout millennia. The ancient Silk Road stands as a testimony to the friendly exchanges and mutual learning among Asian peoples. In this day and age, it is important that we implement the Global Civilization Initiative, respect cultural diversity, champion the common values of humanity, and reject clash of civilizations and ideological confrontation, so as to open up a new chapter of exchanges, harmony, and close people-to-people bonds for all countries of the world, and promote the progress of human civilization. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, it is China's unwavering goal to grow its economy and improve people's livelihoods, and in that process, promote the common development of all countries. After 5 years of unremitting efforts, China's 14th five-year plan was brought to a successful conclusion, and solid new strides were made in advancing Chinese modernization. Over the past 5 years, the Chinese economy registered an average annual growth rate of 5.4% and surpassed RMB 140 trillion yuan. China's per capita GDP exceeded 13,000 US dollars. The Chinese economy steadily contributes around 30% of global growth and remains an important engine driving the world economy. Just recently, China's National People's Congress approved the outline of the 15th Five-Year Plan for Economic and Social Development, which set out the main targets and major tasks for national development in the next 5 years. China will fully and faithfully apply the new development philosophy on all fronts, move faster to create a new pattern of development, promote high-quality development, work for higher quality economic growth, while achieving an appropriate increase in economic output, and will make solid progress in advancing well-rounded personal development and common prosperity for all. China will further expand high-standard opening up and share opportunities and create a better future together with the rest of the world. China will continue to expand domestic demand and share the dividends of our supersized market. In 1.4 billion people and the world's largest, fastest-growing middle-income group, there lies enormous potential for investment and consumption. We will highlight the need to improve living standards and increase consumer spending, and the need to invest in both physical assets and people, actively expand investment and consumption in telecommunications, education, healthcare, elderly care, and childcare, and continue to organize such events as the China International Import Expo, China Import and Export Fair, China International Consumer Products Expo, China International Supply Chain Expo, China International Fair for Trading Services, and China International Fair for Investment and Trade. Companies all over the world are welcome to commit to the Chinese market and gain a competitive edge in global competition. China will stay committed to innovation-driven development and continue to generate growth momentum. In 2025, China entered the top 10 list of most innovative economies for the first time, leading the world in the research, development, and application of artificial intelligence and quantum technology, among others. China also built the world's largest and fastest-growing renewable energy system. We will adhere to innovation-driven development, speed up efforts to achieve greater self-reliance and strength in science and technology, promote deeper integration of technological and industrial innovation, and keep fostering new quality productive forces. Meanwhile, China will actively participate in global science and technology governance, implement the International Science and Technology Cooperation Initiative and the Global AI Governance Initiative, so that the technological and innovation achievements could better serve people of all countries. China will stay committed to free trade and continue to deepen cooperation with other countries. This year marks the 25th anniversary of China's accession to the World Trade Organization. China has become a major trading partner for more than 160 countries and regions, and signed 24 free trade agreements with 31 countries and regions. Island-wide special customs operations were launched in the Hainan Free Trade Port, making it an important gateway leading China's opening up in the new era. We will steadily expand institutional opening up, improve the quality and standard of trade and investment cooperation, pursue high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, promote liberalization and facilitation of global trade and investment, and uphold and develop an open world economy. China will stay committed to all-around law-based governance and continue to improve business environment. The rule of law provides an important guarantee for Chinese modernization. China now has 310 laws in force, over 600 administrative regulations, and more than 14,000 local regulations. This well-designed, complete, unified, and authoritative legal system provides solid legal footing for all fields of work. Last year, to advance the rule of law and credit-based economy, the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China adopted the Private Sector Promotion Law and amended the Anti-Unfair Competition Law, the Arbitration Law, the Maritime Law, and the Foreign Trade Law. We will continue to foster a first-rate, market-oriented, and law-based business environment that aligns with international practice, protect the lawful rights and interests of foreign investors, fully guarantee national treatment for foreign-funded enterprises, and ensure equal application of laws, equal status, and equal treatment for them. China will provide a fertile ground for foreign investors and businesses. The 33rd APEC Economic Leaders Meeting will be held in Shenzhen this November. As the host, China stands ready to join hands with all sides to build an Asia-Pacific community and boost the vitality and momentum of Asia-Pacific development. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, as the ancient Chinese saying goes, in a boat race, those who row the hardest will win. In sailing, those who press ahead most boldly shall triumph. Let us set our sight on building a community with a shared future for humanity. Hoist our sail to catch the wind of cooperation, plow through the waves, and work together for a better future for Asia and the world. To conclude, I wish the Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2026 a full success. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency Chairman Zhao Leji, for your incisive analysis of the current international and regional landscape and your insightful overview of China's economic development, particularly the strategic priorities outlined in the 15th Five-Year Plan. Your four-point proposal is highly significant. Faced with complex and grave challenges, we must keep to the right direction, jointly build a better future of peace, tranquility, win-win cooperation, fairness, justice, mutual respect, and trust. As President Xi Jinping has pointed out, when China does well, the world will get even better. We have every confidence in China's development prospects, and we firmly believe that China's progress will generate opportunities for all countries and contribute stability and certainty to a volatile world.
Now it's my great honor to invite I'm sorry for that. I lost a page. Okay. Now it's my great honor to invite His Excellency Prime Minister Lawrence Wong of the Republic of Singapore to deliver his address. The floor is yours.
Chairman of the National People's Congress, Mr. Zhao Leji, Chairman of the Boao Forum for Asia, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here in Hainan Island for the first time and to join you for this 25th anniversary of the Boao Forum for Asia. This milestone comes at a time of profound change in the world. Hence the theme of this year's conference on new dynamics, new opportunities, and new cooperation. And it's a theme that's both timely and pressing. We are seeing these new dynamics unfold all around us. The foundations that have sustained decades of global stability are under severe strain. The war in Ukraine is entering its 5th year. The conflict in the Middle East is in its 4th week and may well drag on. These wars have claimed many lives and inflicted immense suffering on populations. They are not distant events. They have real consequences for all of us, driving up food and energy prices, disrupting supply chains, and raising the risk of a global economic slowdown. More fundamentally, we are witnessing a worrying breakdown of the institutions and norms that have long anchored the global system. For decades, international law and multilateral rules provided guardrails for state behavior. They did not eliminate conflict, but they tempered it and brought a measure of predictability to international relations. Today, those guardrails are weakening. International relations are increasingly shaped by geopolitical rivalry and zero-sum thinking. States feel less bound by rules and more inclined to act whenever they have the power to do so. Small and middle-sized countries feel this most acutely. But even large powers will find that a world where the strong do as they please is ultimately more dangerous for all. When rules give way to raw power, order breaks down, and no country, big or small, is truly secure. These geopolitical shifts are spilling over into the economic domain. For nearly 8 decades, the global economy prioritized efficiency, integrating markets, and optimizing production across borders. That model is being reworked. Resilience and security are taking precedence. Countries are moving to reduce dependencies and reconfigure how they engage with the global economy. All this makes it harder to address shared global challenges, whether it is tackling climate change or ensuring the safe and responsible use of artificial intelligence. Progress on these matters depends on collective global action. But in today's environment, it has become far harder to find consensus. As a result, our problems are building up and compounding into more serious risk for all. Given this context, how do we move forward? In the past, our instinct was to seek broad multilateral arrangements. These remain important. But in today's more complex and fractured world, multilateral agreements are extremely hard to reach. Yet, given the challenges we face, we cannot afford to wait for every country to move together at the same time and at the same speed. So we must find new ways to cooperate. To be clear, this does not mean abandoning multilateralism. On the contrary, we must continue to strengthen and reform global institutions, including the WTO and the United Nations, so that they remain effective and relevant. But alongside these efforts, we also need more flexible approaches to cooperation. One practical way is for smaller groups of like-minded countries and partners to create plurilateral arrangements. These can move faster to test ideas, set standards, and deliver results. We already see this practical and pragmatic approach at work. Agreements like the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, and the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, or the CPTPP, are advancing economic integration, while the Digital Economy Partnership Agreement, or DEPA, is breaking new ground in digital trade. These are not exclusive clubs. They are open and inclusive frameworks that set high standards and that others can join when they are ready. And in this way, they complement rather than replace the multilateral system. So in practice, we are likely to see a landscape of multiple overlapping coalitions, different groupings of countries working together on specific challenges. This may not be the ideal model for global cooperation, but in today's circumstances, it is a practical way to move forward and to sustain momentum. And if designed well, these coalitions can complement and reinforce one another and serve as building blocks for a more resilient global architecture over time. As we build this new generation of pathfinders, China will play a critical role, given its growing economic weight and increasing capacity to shape global outcomes. China has placed science, technology, and innovation at the center of its development strategy. It is already at the forefront in key emerging areas, including digital and green technologies. More importantly, it's advancing innovation at scale, accelerating adoption and driving progress across industries. China is therefore well positioned, not just to participate in the next wave of technological change, but to shape and lead this change. At the same time, we see growing global interest in Chinese culture and innovation, from films, music, and games to consumer brands and digital platforms. This is especially evident among younger audiences around the world and reflects China's expanding influence in both the creative and digital economies. With its growing capabilities, China has contributed to global development, for example, through platforms like the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, and the Belt and Road Initiative. Singapore supported both initiatives early because we recognize their potential to enhance connectivity, generate opportunities, and uplift communities across the region. China has also taken steps to assume greater responsibilities in the international system. It has voluntarily given up certain WTO developing country benefits and indicated its readiness to shoulder obligations commensurate with its level of development. Beyond this, China continues to contribute ideas to global discussions through its Community with a Shared Future and 4 key global initiatives on development, security, civilization, and governance. These reflect China's growing engagement in shaping the global agenda. Singapore welcomes this constructive engagement and will work with China in areas of shared interest, including on sustainable development and global governance. Singapore also believes that China can play an even bigger role in supporting regional prosperity and stability. China's vast domestic market can be a powerful engine of growth for the region. China's 15th five-year plan, with its greater emphasis on domestic consumption, points in this direction and will create new opportunities for the region. China can also help shape the region's evolving economic architecture. At a time of growing fragmentation, the world needs strong advocates for open and rules-based trade. Here in Hainan, the free trade port stands as a concrete example of China's commitment to openness. And we hope China will continue in this direction, supporting open markets and strengthening confidence in a predictable and stable global trading system. In emerging domains, China's scale and capabilities also position it to influence new rules and standards in emerging domains. We recognize and value China's efforts, including through its current chairmanship of APEC, to advance trade digitalization and AI for trade. China's active participation in global discussions on AI governance will also be critical to building international consensus on the safe and responsible development of these technologies. Looking ahead, Singapore has confidence in China's long-term prospects. And that's why we've been a leading source of new investments into China for more than a decade. We will continue to partner China closely and deepen collaboration in areas of mutual benefit as both our economies evolve. We will also work with China to deepen its integration into regional economic frameworks. In particular, we support and welcome China's interest in joining CPTPP and DEPA. Integrating an economy of China's scale into these agreements is not straightforward, but doing so will bring significant benefits to the region and strengthen the relevance of these high-standard arrangements. We also see tremendous potential for deeper cooperation between China and ASEAN. The recent upgrade of the ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement will further strengthen our economic links. And there are opportunities to collaborate on shared challenges, for example, leveraging China's strength in renewable energy to support ASEAN's energy transition, including through initiatives like the ASEAN Power Grid. When Singapore assumes the ASEAN chairmanship next year, we will work with fellow member states to deepen regional integration and strengthen partnerships. In Asia, we will work closely with partners like China, Japan, Korea, and India. Beyond the region, we will expand engagement with key partners, including the Gulf Cooperation Council and the European Union. Through these efforts, we will keep ASEAN open, connected, and a driver of growth and cooperation in the global economy. The 25th anniversary of the Boao Forum reminds us how far Asia has come through openness, cooperation, and shared progress. The new dynamics of our time understandably cause anxiety and uncertainty, but they also open up new possibilities for innovation, growth, and renewal. Whether we realize these opportunities will depend on our ability to work together, practically, flexibly, and constructively. Ultimately, Asia's future will not be determined by circumstance, but by the choices we make. We can drift towards rivalry and fragmentation, or we can choose cooperation and openness. If we choose well, Asia can continue to be a source of stability, dynamism, and hope for the future. And the next 25 years can be even more remarkable than the last. This future is within our reach. Let us build it together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Prime Minister, for your very much insightful address, and also Thank you for your great contribution in promoting regional cooperation and also your support to BFA's efforts in promoting regional economic integration. Thank you for that. Now it's my great honor to invite Her Excellency Chairwoman Sihabi Gafarova of the Milli Majlis of the Republic of Azerbaijan to deliver her address.
Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor to take part in this important forum and to address such a distinguished audience. First of all, allow me to convey our sincere gratitude and appreciation to His Excellency Mr. Zhao Leji, Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of the People's Republic of China, for the excellent organization of this forum and for the generous hospitality extended to all participants. I would also like to express my warm thanks to His Excellency Mr. Pan Ki-moon, Chairman of the Boao Forum of Asia, and His Excellency Mr. Zhang Chun, Secretary General of the Forum, for their kind invitation to participate in this highly regarded event. Ladies and gentlemen, at a time of growing geopolitical tensions, widening inequalities, and global challenges, dialogue and cooperation are not optional, they are imperative. In this regard, the Boao Forum stands as a vital platform for collective reflection and coordinated action. Over 25 years, the Forum has demonstrated its value as a space where leaders and experts come together to advance practical solutions, promote sustainable development, and strengthen international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, taking this opportunity, I would like to comment that China plays an important and constructive role in today's international system. It is remarkable achievements in economic, social, and technological development, and its commitment to sharing these gains reflect a forward-looking vision of community with a shared future for mankind. I believe that the successful implementation of the 15th five-year plan recently adopted by the National People's Congress will further advance and broaden this vision. At the same time, the global development, global security, global civilization, and global governance initiatives proposed by His Excellency President Xi Jinping, which are supported by my country, Azerbaijan, offer a comprehensive framework for building a more inclusive, secure, and sustainable world based on cooperation, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. Distinguished participants, shared perspectives bring nations closer. As Azerbaijan and China approach the 35th anniversary of diplomatic relations, it is encouraging to see our partnership reaching a new level. The recent high-level exchanges, including President Ilham Aliyev's visit to China and the signing of two key joint declarations on strategic and comprehensive strategic partnership, clearly demonstrate the depths of our political dialogue, mutual trust, and expanding cooperation. Azerbaijan fully supports these initiatives and shares these principles. Having endured nearly 3 decades of occupation and having restored its territorial integrity and sovereignty in line with international law, Azerbaijan attaches particular importance to the principle of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and non-interference. Our national vision, as defined by President Ilham Aliyev, is grounded in peace, development, multilateralism, mutual respect, and cooperation. This vision is consistently translated into actions. During its chairmanship of the non-aligned movement, Azerbaijan actively promoted the interests of the Global South and contributed to the strengthening the institutional foundations of the movement. The parliamentary network of the non-aligned movement, established at the initiative of President Aliyev and currently chaired by our parliament, provides an important platform for achieving common goals through parliamentary cooperation. As host of COP29, Azerbaijan worked to bridge divides between the global north and south and to advance key outcomes on the global climate agenda. We also continue to promote intercultural dialogue, multiculturalism, and tolerance, including through platforms such as the global Boao Forum. In the coming months, Azerbaijan will host the World Urban Forum, and in autumn 2026, the summit of the Conference on Interaction and Confidence-Building Measures in Asia, further reinforcing our commitment to international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, recent global developments have once again underscored the strategic importance of energy security, transport, and connectivity. Azerbaijan plays a key role in ensuring energy security across a wide region, while ongoing investments in green energy will further strengthen this contribution. At the same time, Azerbaijan has become a major transport hub across Eurasia. As an early supporter of the Belt and Road Initiative, we continue to contribute actively to its development. Indeed, after China, Azerbaijan is the second largest investor in this initiative. Today, the Middle Corridor has proven to be one of the most optimal and secure routes linking Europe with Central Asia and China via the Caspian Sea. Furthermore, the restoration of transport and communication links between Azerbaijan's western regions and the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic following the peace process between Azerbaijan and Armenia will further enhance the efficiency of the Middle Corridor, which in particular is proving to be a reliable and efficient route connecting Europe and Asia. Distinguished participants, as the President of Azerbaijan, His Excellency Mr. Ilham Aliyev, has emphasized, our projects are designed not only to deliver economic benefits, but also to promote stability, interdependence, and trust among nations. Today's forum once again demonstrates that through partnership, dialogue, and mutual respect, we can effectively address common challenges and build a more stable and prosperous future. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Chairperson Gaparova. Thank you for your very much insightful remarks and also your ideas in promoting trust, dialogue, and cooperation. Now it's my great honor to invite His Excellency Jagat Vikramaratne, Speaker of the Parliament of Sri Lanka, to deliver his address.
Excellencies, distinguished heads of the government and ministers, leaders of industry and academia, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to be here today addressing this distinguished gathering at the plenary session of Boao Forum for Asia 2026 conference. I wish to appreciate the role played by the Boao Forum for Asia as a platform for dialogue, cooperation, and vision for shared prosperity across our region over 25 years. I also wish to acknowledge the contribution of the People's Republic of China in supporting Boao Forum for Asia, a platform where not only governments but also businesses and academia work together in shaping Asia's future. Through initiatives that encourage connectivity, investment, and development partnerships, China has contributed meaningfully to advancing shared growth across the region. I therefore believe that this year's theme, Shaping a Shared Future, New Dynamics, New Opportunities, New Cooperation, is extremely timely and relevant to today's world context. The global landscape is shifting in ways that are both complex and uncertain. Conflicts continue to disrupt lives and economics, undermining decades of progress. Geopolitical tensions are fragmenting global cooperation at a time when unity is most needed. Economic systems are being reshaped. Geopolitical alignments are shifting, and societies are adapting to new realities at an unprecedented pace. Meanwhile, this climate crisis continues to intensify, bringing more frequent natural disasters such as adverse weather conditions faced by Sri Lanka recently during the Ditwa cyclone, which threatened food and water security and disproportionately impacting vulnerable communities. These global and multifaceted challenges have made cooperation a necessity and no longer a choice. The importance of South-South cooperation has become even more evident in current evolving global landscape. While countries of the South contribute the least to many global crises, we often are the one that bears the most adverse impacts. At a time when the world is grappling with shared and interconnected challenges, the importance of solidarity, collaboration, openness, and collective accountability cannot be overstated. One of the most defining forces of our era is the rise of artificial intelligence and emerging technologies. AI is already transforming industries, accelerating scientific discovery, and reshaping how we live and work. It has the potential to enhance productivity, improve healthcare, strengthen education system, and help us tackle global challenges such as climate change. At the same time, these advancements come with serious risks that must be managed with foresight and care. They raise ethical questions about privacy, data governance, algorithmic bias, and accountability. Moreover, unequal access to technology risks widening existing economics, social and gender disparities both within and among nations. The rise of cyber threats, digital misinformation, and technological fragmentations further underscores that the need for robust government frameworks and strengthened international coordination. This exemplifies why the idea of shared future must move from aspiration to action. The present is a defining moment for Asia, which is home to half of the world's population and an expanding share of global commerce, a dynamic force of global economic growth and positioning it as a key driver of the future. Our region is abundant in cultural richness, human capitals, and resources. It is a ground in shared principles and has a capacity to lead through harmony, mutual respect, and partnerships rather than dominance. I therefore believe South-South partnerships allow us to share development experiences, exchange technology, expand trade, and build resilience together. First, there is a need to reinforce multilateralism and promote inclusive dialogue. Constructive engagement among nations, institutions, and stakeholders is vital to rebuilding the trust and ensuring that a global governance mechanism remains effective and responsive. Second, the technological advancement must be guided by shared principles, establishing common standards for ethical AI, enhancing transparency, and promoting equitable access to digital infrastructure will be critical to ensure that innovation contributes to broad-based and sustainable development. Third, we must accelerate climate action and ensure that the Asia's rapid development is balanced with environmental responsibility. Sri Lanka, a country highly vulnerable to climate change, recognizes the need to transition towards renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and climate resilience infrastructure. Regional collaboration in green technology, climate finance, and knowledge sharing will be essential to achieving our collective climate goals. Fourth, we must ensure that sustainable development remains at the center of our shared agenda. The future of Asia will be shaped by innovations. Investment in education and healthcare, digital transformation, reducing inequality, and research partnerships will empower the youth, ensuring that technological progress benefits all segments of the society. Ladies and gentlemen, Sri Lanka is currently undertaking important reforms aimed at restoring macroeconomic stability, strengthening governance, and creating a more competitive and investment-friendly economy. Under the leadership of President Anukumara Dissanayake, Sri Lanka is committed to building a transparent, people-centered, digitalized, and inclusive model for sustainable development with the support from our international partners. We aim to strengthen democratic governance, revitalize the economy, and ensure that development benefits all segments of society. These reforms are guided by the vision for thriving nation and beautiful life. In this journey, partnerships across Asia will play a vital role in transforming Sri Lanka as a hub for trade, investment, innovation in the Asia-Pacific region. We invite investors, entrepreneurs, and development partners to collaborate with us in areas such as renewable energy, tourism, digital services, logistics, and advanced manufacturing. We believe stronger South-South partnerships and knowledge sharing in trade, infrastructure, digital connectivity, agriculture, and climate resilience is essential in sharing a more balanced and inclusive international order, while supporting each other to navigate the uncertainties of the modern world. I believe that the Boao Forum is one of the best forums to work together to overcome these common challenges through South-South cooperation, which is built on mutual respect and shared opportunity and responsibility. On that note of optimism, I invite you all to work together to build an Asia that is open, resilient, sustainable, and inclusive. Together, let us shape a shared future, one defined by new dynamics, new opportunities, and above all, new cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your wisdom, for your thoughts, and I fully agree with you that we should make joint efforts in translating a shared future from vision to action. Thank you. His Excellency Kim Min-suk, Prime Minister of the Republic of Korea, has sent us a video address to this plenary session. Now please watch the video message.
Your Excellency Chairman Zhao Leji, Chairman Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General Zhang Jun, distinguished guests, it's my great pleasure to extend my sincere congratulations on the opening of the Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2026. I had looked forward to visiting Boao in person, but as the situation in the Middle East continues to go on, the Korean government has launched an emergency economic task force, and I have been called to fulfill my duty as a Prime Minister. I ask for your kind understanding in this matter.
As a founding member, Korea has been with the Boao Forum for the past 25 years. Through the tireless efforts of member countries under China's stewardship, the Boao Forum has established itself as a dialogue platform where governments, businesses, academia, and politicians come together to discuss the future of Asia. Distinguished guests, strong waves of uncertainty are sweeping across the globe. Tensions in international affairs are escalating, including the situation in the Middle East and the war in Ukraine. Structural changes such as technological innovation, the restructuring of supply chains, and demographic shifts are also proceeding rapidly. It is meaningful that we have come together in Boao to discuss new directions to take in this changing international environment. I would like to propose 3 directions: innovation, institution, and interconnection. First, innovation. We must continue international cooperation so that new growth engines through technological innovation can contribute to our common prosperity, in particular while promoting innovation across industries and societies of each country in cutting-edge fields such as AI, semiconductors, and biotechnology. Cooperative efforts among countries must also be pursued in parallel. Through the AI transformation, AX, and the implementation of the AI Frame Act, Korea aims to contribute to the development of Asia in terms of applying innovative technologies to industrial sites and establishing trustworthy digital governance. Second, institution. As uncertainties loom in the international economic environment, we need to develop regional multilateral cooperation platforms in Asia, such as RCEP and APEC, and increase the predictability of trade and investment and strengthen the safety and resilience of supply chains. I hope that last year's achievements at the Jeju APEC Summit will carry over to this year's Shenzhen APEC Summit, enhancing regional openness and bringing us closer to digital transformation and inclusive growth. Third, interconnection. In line with current changes, we must expand the horizons of international cooperation to new agendas and diversify the actors of cooperation. Korea is accelerating its industrial and energy transition by designating 2026 as the inaugural year of Green Transition KGX. Korea is also strengthening cooperation in various fields, including supply chain stability, health and disaster response, and cyber and transnational security. Regional cooperation is not completed solely through agreements between governments. Ultimately, it is people-to-people connections that sustain cooperation. The exchanges of youth, talent, and joint research are the building blocks of regional trust in the long term. Distinguished guests, this year, China is fully launching its 15th five-year plan. As emphasized by President Xi Jinping, China has been promoting a high-level economic openness and has established focal points of cooperation, such as international cooperation demonstration zones in Changchun, Hainan, and Yantai. Korea intends to actively utilize these platforms where global corporations meet capital and technology to further industrial, technological, and investment cooperation with China and create tangible results. Through this, we look forward to jointly creating a model of cooperation that benefits not only Korea and China but also the global economy. When President Lee Jae-myung visited China in January, he remarked that Korea and China are like ships sailing together in the same sea. heading in the same direction. This spirit of sharing the same boat and helping each other is all the more important today as we face the challenges of uncertainty, and it is a value that applies not only to Korea and China, but to all of Asia. It is difficult to overcome the challenges we face today with the strength of a single country. Only when countries in the region rally together, based on trust, will we be able to turn these challenges into new opportunities. I look forward to the Boao Forum continuing to develop into a venue for dialogue and cooperation that builds trust. Thank you.
I thank His Excellency the Prime Minister's video message and also the strong support extended to the Boao Forum for Asia. I very much look forward to his personal participation next year. Now it's my great honor to invite Mr. Andrew Forrest, the Executive Chairman and founder of Fortescue Australia, to deliver his remarks.
你好，你好。
Hello.
谢谢，谢谢。
Thank you.
I stand here undeserving, humble as a representative of the global business community, grateful to the sovereign leadership I've witnessed this morning. I also stand here grateful specifically to my chairman of the Boao Forum for Asia, Ban Ki-moon, who said very clearly, challenges to opportunities. That is my theme. But let me ask you to look around a corner with me a little. All of you know, who know me personally, that I champion and work well with all peace-loving nations. So I would like to address with you what has been obliquely referred to many times, and that is the war in Iran and Ukraine. I know these nations. I've seen Ukraine become resilient to an overwhelming force who's bombed and bombed and bombed it for as many years as Iran has effectively been at war with many nations and has been extremely resilient for as many decades as Ukraine has had years against an overwhelming force. It's not working. Iran, if it is targeted for its civilian power energy systems, will respond, and perhaps this time not so surgically. It will lead to further breakdown in the energy systems of the world, and I remind everyone, fossil fuel is a weapon of war. That further breakdown could come home to North America, who may state they don't need the Straits of Hormuz, but of course they are a free market economy and their energy suppliers will take the market price. In that circumstance, with the midterm elections coming up in the United States, the President may restrict or stop the exports of gas to the world from North America to try and regain an electoral promise that he will make American industries more competitive. In that event, ladies and gentlemen, you have true fragmentation of the world. Now, I want to take you to a choice, leaders, for the weapon of peace. The weapon of peace is renewable energy. For those who think the technology isn't there, please have a little look at China. It's a fairly big player. China is going green because, like me as a doctor of ecology, it understands what is happening with climate change, like my dear friend, my chairman, Ban Ki-moon, sees the deep threat to all of us, but also because economically it makes huge sense for China. And I remind every business leader and every sovereign leader, you are not independent, you are not free, while you are relying on others for the most fundamental of your necessities, which is energy. From energy rolls health, rolls food, rolls freedom. And so I congratulate all those nations, and I see them in front of me, who are going to new energy, going to new materials, going to new green steel, as Australia is working hard to do with China, with huge partnerships in the making. And I say, ladies and gentlemen, to each of us, go with your freedom. Go with a much lower cost of energy. Go with an energy which is just verging on going fully baseload 24/7 power, like nuclear, like gas, like coal. And that is renewable energy. Working closely with partners all over the world and our own brilliant scientists, and very closely with China, Fortescue will deliver the world's first 24/7 baseload green energy grid, and it is starting now and it will be complete next year, and there lies the end of 1 billion litres of diesel a year. And if diesel were to rise by, say, $1 a litre, then the cost to my industry is $5 billion a year. That is what we can save if we switch to new energy, ladies and gentlemen. So I ask all of us now, take the lead of a corporation who is doing what it says it will do, that is my company Fortescue. Take the lead of China, which is acting in the best interests of each of its people, to lower the cost of living and increase the standard of living. And let us all, for humanity, our shareholders, our voters, our taxpayers, move to green energy. The model is here, ladies and gentlemen. The excuses are not. Let us move now. Thank you.
We have just listened all the addresses by distinguished guests. Let us once again extend our warm and heartfelt applause to all distinguished leaders, Chairman Zhao Leji, and business representatives for their outstanding addresses. Thank you for sharing your strategic vision and valuable insight. We still have other leaders and international organizations and important distinguished guests who have addresses and will continue to address at various important occasions and share with us their important insights. Let me also thank them. The profound global changes present numerous challenges, yet there are open pathways to new possibilities. As long as we strengthen collective confidence, proactively respond to evolving circumstances, seize emerging opportunities, expand new cooperations, and remain unwavering in our commitment to build a community with a shared future for humanity. This concludes today's plenary. Thank you very much.